Hello, I want to talk to you today about the performance speech in a slightly different format than your traditional assignment sheet, and hopefully it will be helpful to you to see it broken down into chunks. First off, what is the performance speech? It's a speech that requires you to step outside of yourself, embody different personas, and deliver a message to the audience using gestures, facial expressions, body language, and vocal variety that is intentionally designed for the specific purpose. The reason why we're asking you to do this is to give you the opportunity to develop skills that will enable you to reach your audience more effectively. So in other words, by becoming someone else, it gives you the freedom to test your own boundaries, to see what works, and maybe consider how you might incorporate some of those elements into speeches that you give as yourself in the future. I'm giving you three options as you approach this, and hopefully one of these options will appeal more to you. Option number one is the traditional oral interpretation speech path. And really, if you're going to choose this option, the protocol is pretty simple. Pick a book with a plot, make sure there's dialogue featuring characters that have distinct voices. Try to avoid books that have really heavy narrator voices because it makes it quite difficult to be able to figure out how to deliver that book. And if you're not sure what to pick, feel free to bring books in, show them to me, and I will be very happy to help you navigate that. Option two, speech or monologue. In this choice, pick a speech or a monologue from a play or a movie that you really like, and then you decide whether or not you want to deliver it as the historical figure or character who originally delivered it, or if you want to deliver it in a different way by choosing a character that's a little bit different from that individual. So for instance, you could decide to embody Brett Favre and deliver George Washington's resignation speech. You could also choose to be Taylor Swift reciting Juliet's balcony monologue. So you can have a little bit fun with this. But as you consider it, you want to make sure that you're being intentional with the way that you are deciding how to deliver your facial expressions, or the rate of your voice, or the tone, or the gestures / mannerisms that you use, and your overall presence. So you're going to kind of fill out a planning sheet that lets us know exactly what you were thinking when you were choosing it. And you need to make sure that you have to be respectful, thoughtful, and strategic when you're delivering your speech. The goal is for you to test out different boundaries, but it's not to make somebody in the class feel as if they're mocked. Option three, write your own speech. So this is pretty fun for those of you who are creative and love to write. You can choose a character in a situation and draft a speech that they could give. It could be a character you make up. It could be a character from a book, a movie, a TV show. This is really a chance for you to be as creative as you want to be. You can step outside of yourself as you do this. In fact, that's the goal. You do not want to pick a character who is so much like you that it's impossible to tell the difference between you and that character. But as for option two, you also need to be respectful, thoughtful, and strategic. The goal of this is to recognize delivery mechanisms that make you unique. So you want to avoid stereotypes and cliches. If you're a boy who's delivering a speech as a girl, for instance, you want to avoid the over-dramatized Valley Girl persona. And if you're a girl delivering a boy's speech, you want to make sure that you're not overemphasizing a hyper-masculine presence. As we all know, there are all different kinds of girls and guys. So instead of focusing on stereotypes, you want to focus on the individual characteristics of that person. Universal guidelines. No matter which option you choose, your presentation may be 3 to 5 minutes in length. So I'd shoot for 4 minutes. If you talk quickly, then you'll still be over 3. And if you talk slowly, you'll still be under 5. Regardless of the path, you're going to have to type out your story word for word and tape it or glue it on note cards. This is going to be our first step into being able to deliver a speech without having things in our hands, or to be beholden to the things in our hands, and to be able to truly connect with the audience with our eyes. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to see what you do.